Okay, here's the thought. What if your path to getting rich wasn't about finding some far-off, distant opportunity? What if it was about creating it right now with the people who are already in your life? That's the powerful, kind of counterintuitive idea we're going to break down today.
You know, we're all taught to look for success in the same old places. The stock market, a brand new job, the next big thing. But what if all of that is just a distraction? What if the key you're looking for isn't out there at all?
And it's definitely not about just sitting around waiting for some lucky break to fall into your lap. Nope. This is about a deliberate, repeatable process that literally anyone can start. It's a total, fundamental shift in how you see the world around you.
That's right. Your potential for wealth, for creating something amazing, is hidden in plain sight. It's inside the conversations you're having every single day with the people you already know. The real secret is just learning how to unlock it.
So what's holding most of us back? Well, it's something we do every day without even thinking about it. We just talk. And that randomness, it has a hidden and frankly, a massive cost.
I mean, really think about it. We spend years, sometimes decades, in these casual, totally random conversations. We talk about the weather, what's on the news, other people. And yeah, it feels social, it feels normal. But the result is stagnation. Nothing ever builds on itself, and your life, both professionally and financially, just stays on a flat line.
It's kind of wild to think about, right? That years of just drifting can be corrected by one simple little shift. A single sentence that completely changes the dynamic of an entire interaction.
And there it is. That's the switch. This one little phrase turns passive chatter into active building. It takes all that potential energy that's just floating around in a conversation, and it gives it direction. It gives it a purpose. So here's the absolute crucial point. This isn't about a lack of good ideas or talent. The world is full of talented people with brilliant ideas. The real gap is the failure to activate that talent. It's the failure to turn your network of friends into a network of collaborators. So what actually happens when you introduce that collaborative spark? Well, you kick off this incredibly powerful chain reaction.
It all starts small. A single, focused conversation gives an idea some structure. You can think of it like the first chapter of a story. You have a few more of those, and suddenly you've got a whole book. That story then becomes an actual, actionable plan. That plan starts to attract other people, and boom, it becomes a movement. And eventually, all that energy and organization solidifies into a real business. It's a completely natural, compounding process.
And this is the core of the whole thing. You didn't need to move to a new city, find a new group of friends, or get a different job. You used the exact same resources, the people right there around you, but you just made a different decision about how to interact with them. This gives us a totally new way to think about what wealth even is. It's not something you go out and find, like a treasure hunt. It's potential energy that's already there, and you just have to learn how to activate it. It's waiting for you to flip the switch from random to focused.
Now, this might sound nice in theory, but there's actual math behind why this works so incredibly well. Let's call it the human compound effect.
This really lays out the two paths you can take. On the left, you've got the default path, random conversations. That leads to a flat line, no growth, no momentum. But on the right, you've got the wealth path. Every conversation builds on the last one. An idea evolves. It turns into a system, and over time, it scales into something massive. One path is static, the other one is exponential.
And the math here is surprisingly simple. The random path is just like multiplying by 1, over and over again. You end up right where you started. But the collaborative path, that's all about tiny, consistent improvements. Just a 1% daily shared progress between people doesn't just add up, it compounds. It's the energy of two minds being better than one, applied every single day. And the result is, well, it's staggering. That tiny 1% of collaborative improvement every day for a year doesn't make your project 365% better. It makes it nearly 37 times better. 37! Now just imagine applying that kind of explosive growth to your ideas and projects. The potential is just immense.
Okay, so how do we make this practical? Let's look at the actual roadmap that takes you from that very first collaborative spark all the way to a real functioning enterprise.
It really does follow a natural evolution. That first collaboration starts to solidify into a dedicated team. A strong team then attracts a community of people who believe in the mission. That organized community becomes the foundation for a company. And a successful company, by its very definition, generates wealth.
And look, this isn't just a fun theory. It's a proven historical pattern. Google was just two guys riffing on an idea in a dorm room. Tesla began with conversations between a small group of engineers. Even modern giants like Mr. Beast started as just four friends brainstorming in a Discord chat. The pattern holds true, no matter the industry, no matter the generation.
It seems so simple, right? So obvious when you lay it all out like this. So what's the big disconnect? Why isn't everybody doing this?
Well, it pretty much comes down to these common myths. We're conditioned to think we need all the resources before we can even start. We need money, we need perfect skills, we need a huge audience. But that's completely backward. The resource you actually need first is free, and it's available to everyone. An aligned, focused, collaborative conversation. That is the true starting point.
So, let's bring this all home. Building something significant isn't about waiting for some lightning strike of inspiration or a lucky break. It's about taking a single, intentional action.
And now we're back where we started. But this sentence should hit a little differently now. It's no longer just a cool, provocative idea. It's a practical strategy. The value, the potential, the wealth, it's in the room with you right now, hidden inside the people you know.
And really, that's the ultimate takeaway. Your relationships are not just for socializing. They are your most valuable, most untapped asset. So the only question left is, who in your life are you going to turn to and finally say, hey, let's collaborate on this?